morning. Welcome to UUCC, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Canandaigua. We are a group of spiritual freethinkers who gather together to celebrate life, build community, and better the world. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. I'm Laura Wink, and Karen Alvarez and I will be leading the intergenerational Beltane and Maypole service together. This service is also being live streamed to our YouTube channel. We will plan on continuing with hybrid worship services throughout the church year, so you can join us each week here in person, on Zoom, or later on YouTube as you prefer. If this is your first visit, welcome. We invite you to sign the visitor's book in the entryway, and whether it's your first visit or your 1000th, we're glad that you came. I have a few announcements to share. Please wear a mask. Masks are available for anyone who forgot one. We invite children of all ages to stay with us throughout the service today for our Maypole Fun. We'll be collecting the cards for joys and sorrows after our first hymn. Please fill them out or type them into the chat box on Zoom if you have something that you'd like to share. Don't forget about our nearly new sale on May 20th. Please search your attics, basements, and garages for items that might be useful for someone else. We'll take donations. We'll take donations on May 19th and the 18th. And there are color-coded stickers in the back of the church for pricing. Please make sure that you price your items before you drop them off. Thank you to everyone who donated ribbons for today's service. And are there any other announcements for the good of the community? Nope. As we prepare to be fully together, I remind us all to silence our phones and devices, and we now enter a space of worship. Now we have our chalice lighting, and the Casey Campbell boys are coming up. So I invite us all to join in our chalice lighting words as the flame is lit. Are you ready? There's enough room for both. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration, good job, in our life to share together. From all that dwell below the skies, that faith and hope with love arise, that beauty, truth, and good be so, through every land, in every
Good morning. If we lived in another climate, our souls might speak other languages. We might speak oasis or permafrost, dry season or monsoon. But our souls speak spring. Our souls speak green shoots pushing through last year's leaves. Our souls speak flower buds stretching to the sun. Our souls speak mud puddle and nest building, damp earth, worm castings, tiny green leaves, and frog choruses. We speak spring because spring sings in us. We gather to nurture our faith in our growing, through our own courage to push through, our own blossoming in beauty, our own small part in the spring of this world. Come, let us worship together. The hymn is 1024.
Please rise as you're willing and able and join us when the Spirit says to.
play today. But this is a time in our service when we talk about our joys and sorrows. We are a community that holds one another in our celebrations and in our pain. We welcome you to share your joys and sorrows by writing them down on the card you found on your chair and placing them in the basket when it comes by you, or by typing it in the chat box in Zoom. Know that whatever your heart is holding today, whether shared or not, we are with you. And I think we have some new friends who are collecting the joys and sorrows cards, right?
Here we go.
Story. We're making it up as we go along.
Yeah, there might be a couple of bumps today. Okay, our story today is Tidalik, the Thirsty Frog, an indigenous Australian story. Long ago in Dreamtime, when the world was still being made, there lived a small frog called Tidalik. The hot sun made him thirsty, so Tidalik hopped down to the water hole for a drink. Tidalik drank and drank until the water hole was dry, but still he felt thirsty. So he drank all the water in the creek, and then all the water in the billabongs, and the swamps, and the rivers, and the lagoons, until there wasn't a drop of water left. After he'd finished, Tidalik's belly was as huge as a mountain, and he was too heavy to hop anywhere. When the other animals grew thirsty, there was nothing for them to drink. They pleaded with Tidalik to give them some water, but he kept his mouth firmly shut. "Let's make him laugh," suggested Wombat. "Good idea," said Kookaburra, and she told some jokes, but they failed. Tidalik didn't even smile. Koala tried standing on her head. Echidna made funny faces, and Lizard danced a silly, silly dance, but still, Tidalik sat with his lips closed tight. They didn't know what to do. Last to try was Kangaroo, who boxed with his shadow, thump, thump, thump. The thumping disturbed Platypus, who'd been sleeping nearby. "Who woke me up?" she snapped. Tidalik stared in surprise. He had never seen such a weird-looking creature. Platypus banged her tail and tapped her webbed feet crossly. "Well, what is going on?" And the angrier she got, the more ridiculous she looked. And at last, Tidalik couldn't help himself. He opened his mouth to laugh. "What a hilarious-looking animal you are!" "Watch out!" cried Wombat. And out gushed a great flood, filling the water holes and creeks, the billabongs and swamps and lagoons, and there was plenty enough for all the animals to drink. And so ends our story.
We have a few joys and sorrows today. I think when I read them, you'll figure out they mostly from the under 12 set. Casey made a new level in Mario Maker. Kelly played video games this morning on Nintendo Switch. And unfortunately, baseball was canceled. Can you put a pebble in?
And now I'll put a pebble in our water to represent all the joys and sorrows kept in our hearts.
We are with you.
And together, can we say, "We are with you. We are with you." Yeah. Now is the time in our service to join together in the spiritual practice of generosity. Our gifts of both time and money support our church and its work. Each week, we'd like to spotlight a group or committee and thank them for their gift of time. This week, I think we should thank the worship committee for pulling together last minute to make sure that our service runs smoothly. Danielle and Thomas Lyon are always looking for people to help out with camera, with the Zoom, or being a worship associate. 1/4 of our plate collection for the blooming season goes to the Finger Lakes Justice Partnership, an organization working to weave together the efforts of the region's diverse justice-seeking individuals, organizations, and institutions. You can give to this morning's offering by placing cash or check into the basket or on one of the options on your screen. Please make a note that your gift is intended for today's offering, and we now gratefully accept the offering.
Little tangled, hold on here. Thank you for your willingness to play this morning, especially as we celebrate the new growth and blossoming of the world at the mid-spring holiday of Beltane this morning. Skipped ahead. I invite you now to get comfortable and grounded and free your thoughts to listen. Feel the good earth beneath your feet. Feel your breath move in and out. Feel the love of this community surrounding you. Let your voice and your thoughts fall quiet so that you can listen closely to the sound of life. What if you bowed before every dandelion you met and wrote love letters to squirrels and pigeons who crossed your path? What if scrubbing the dishes became an act of single reverence for the gift of being washed clean? And what if the rhythmic percussion of chopping carrots became the drumbeat of your dance? What if you stepped into the shower each morning only to be baptized anew and set forth to serve the grocery bagger, the bank teller, and the bus driver through simple kindness? And what if the things that make your heart dizzy with delight were no longer stuffed into the basement of your being and allowed to play in the lush and green fields? There are two ways to live in this world, as if everything were enchanted or nothing at all. There is no in between, although you keep trying to live this divided life, knowing deep down something is awry. You have lived long enough with this tearing apart. Come into the wild world and discover their companions and guides at every turn. And even those who summon curses from your heart have a divine spark within them, bright enough to invite wonder. thank you for your willingness to play this morning, especially as we celebrate the new growth and blossoming of the world at the mid-spring holiday of Beltane. Play is such an important spiritual practice at this moment of new growth because play is how all creatures grow. Human and non-human, brand new babies and ancient elders. Play is the way that we adapt and grow. It is fundamental to being human, to being a creature. Even when we try not to play as adults, because adulthood is serious, we can't help it. In the Celtic Isles myth around Beltane, the goddess of the earth and the god of wild things remarry every year at this time, producing a new abundance of fruitful growth in the world out of last year's death. Their playful union is the source of life, and so humans celebrate by playing as well. Most traditionally, they dance around a maypole, which we're gonna do without the pole. We're gonna figure it out. Letting go of the orderly constraints of their daily lives and submitting to the rhythm of the common dance. Play isn't work, but like spring, it is fruitful. It worries not about outcomes or efficiency. As Margaret Gunther put it, when we play, we celebrate holy uselessness. When, on the first May Day labor demonstrations in 1886, hundreds of thousands of laborers in Chicago walked off their jobs to demand the dignity of an 8-hour workday. They were enacting the power of holy uselessness. And anytime we choose rest or creativity or play over production, we are too. Play is so important as a tool of resistance because we think and laugh and feel and pray and love as bodies. Practices like dance, touch, play are essential for the cultivation of spiritual and community resilience, especially at this moment of economic reckoning in our country with a labor crisis. This imaginative capacity of a creature at play is, I think, a highly spiritual trait. It is the joy that unfettered capitalism would strip us of if it could. Play reminds us that we are no less free than the deep deer leaping across a meadow, than the birds who greet the dawn with their chorus of voices, than the dandelion who makes a space for herself absolutely anywhere her ancestors' seeds have fallen. Play is the place from which all of us pray. It is the place from which our deepest questions arise, because it is what opens us up in wonder to the universe. Cultivating imagination through play allows us to make a space of holy uselessness, where we can envision new ways of living, of sculpting justice in the world, of being together in community. Our play is resistance, and that untamed creative resistance is exactly what this season invites us to. So we're gonna play. We're going to make a not exactly traditional maypole. It's gonna involve a circle dance with the ribbons, and we're gonna weave them together. It is important to remember that we may never reach the center. I'm not gonna lie, we don't really understand the directions. Okay, we figured it out in the last 20 minutes. But if we don't get there, that's okay. It's the joy of the dance that matters, even if we don't get to feel to where we feel is the proper ending. So we're going to start by everyone taking,
Well, I'll explain.
Laura's going to explain.
So I'll give you the directions before we stand up and move, because I'm a gym teacher at heart. So what's going to happen is we're going to pair up, and you and your partner are going to find ribbons right next to each other, and you're going to face each other. And the person you're going to pick up the ribbons when I say pick them up. The person who has it in their left hand is going to lift it, and I'm going under it. And the person with the ribbon in the right hand is going under. So anybody who's got a ribbon in their left hand lifts, and anybody with the ribbon in the right hand drops. Okay, so find a partner and find an end of a ribbon. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think afterwards you have to go under. So I think you have to go over, then under.
Left, and then it switches. So I think the person who's got it in their left hand. So face your partner.
If there's extras, just take one next to you, because we need to hold all of them.
Face your partner. Face your partner. Everybody have a partner? As you pull it, it's higher. Okay, so the person with it in your left hand, remember you're going to lift, and the person with it in your right hand, you're going to go under. Okay, so left lift, right go under, and we're going to try it. Take one person past yourself. And take a step. There you go.
False alarm.
You guys already
Yeah, we already passed.
Okay, let's take one more step.
Wait, Laura,
hand goes down, the right hand comes up.
You ready? Left hand goes down, right hand goes up. And take another step.
oh no! I can do it! I'm here! You go and I go like this.
So go under, go under.
You already did it.
All right.
And now it's back to the left.
Left goes up, right goes down, ready, go. Right goes up, left goes down, ready, go. Left goes up, right goes down, ready, go. Right goes up, left goes down, ready, go. Left goes up, right goes down, ready, go. Right goes up, left goes down, ready, go. Left goes up, right goes down, ready, go. Okay, left up. We might have fallen apart a little bit. Left goes up, right goes down, ready, go. Right goes up, left goes down, ready, go.
how fun was that? Little disorganized, some chaos, but I didn't see anybody cried. We were all really smiling, so
You might be symbolic of our church.
success. We're gonna call it success. Please join us for the closing hymn, number 66, When the Summer Sun is Shining. When we play, we celebrate holy uselessness. Like the calf frolicking in the meadow, we need no pretense or excuses. Work is productive. Play is fruitful. Like all of spring, like the earth itself, may we be fruitful.
Please join me in our words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.